Hi guys. My name's Tom. This here's Ryan.
Yeah, I'm Ryan.
Welcome to the Save Continue podcast.
Yeah.
Shanae Howard, absent again.
We said
Kidney stone.
Last week we promised you that she would be here.
We redacted that.
Yeah, we're retracting that statement.
Yeah. So yeah, no Shanae.
Yeah.
We miss you, Shanae.
Yeah, get better soon. I thought it would have been made for good television if she passed the stone on the show.
Sure. I've been waiting to talk to her because she's been watching Smallville. Like to talk to her about Smallville.
You know,
but
you can talk to her about it over the internet while she passes that rock.
we talked about it on the phone one night. That was fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anything you've been playing? Anything you're looking forward to? Anything, opening conversation you got going on here?
Yeah, Tom. So, man, I kind of want to save it for the actual show, but I'm gonna say it now.
Say it.
So we know that Mortal Kombat 11 will not be at EVO 2020.
Correct.
It's a sad day for me and the rest of the Kano clan. So I've been thinking about organizing a little Mortal Kombat tournament of my own.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
And I haven't announced it formally yet because, and I guess saying it on a nationally syndicated podcast is probably not the best idea. But
I mean, you're talking about doing an online tournament, so it's not like it'll be that much work, really.
yeah. But I thought it would be fun because I know that I'm friends with a lot of Mortal Kombat players, and we're all pretty bummed.
The combat kids, as they call them.
Combat kids, as we once and forever will be called.
The combat cronies.
Mm-hmm. The numbskulls.
The combat club.
Yeah. The Burger King's Combat Club.
The mortal men.
Yeah. But yeah, I know a lot of Mortal Kombat players who are pretty bummed that we won't get to see that game at the biggest tournament.
The world stage.
The world stage.
Yeah.
The stage of history. Which Soul Calibur is going to be there, so good for them.
Yeah.
They
should get that guy to commentate.
Man, that would put me to sleep. Man, like I like Soul Calibur a lot.
Yeah.
I've got complicated feelings about playing that game online, but
I like it.
I want to like it, but I haven't been given the chance to. And but yeah, I've been thinking about putting together a little tournament. A very, 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 very modest prize, which is mostly for fun.
50 shekels.
Yeah, that sounds about within my budget.
Okay.
And I think that.
Guess I better train.
Sure. I mean, you're still trash at that game, so you're gonna want to.
I've only ever played it with you like twice.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah, I expect you to be trash. But you can get better. Tom, I don't even know what kind of fighting game you like. I don't know what your main style is.
Well, if you look at the fighting games that I play the most of,
You play a lot of anime fighters.
that's not true.
Oh,
What anime fighters do I play?
go on.
Like name an anime fighter I play.
Guilty Gear.
Sure. One.
I feel like based on my limited exposure to Eunice, that looks pretty anime fighter to me.
So to you, the visuals make the fighter then?
No.
Okay.
It just looked all, what's the word?
Anime?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely an anime aesthetic.
Yeah, but it's not an anime fighter in the way Guilty Gear or BlazBlue are.
Correct.
Okay. I understand now. But to be fair, I've never actually played that game.
Right.
I've seen it.
Right. I like fighting games that have traditional command inputs.
Okay.
It bums me out when games don't have. There are still games without them that I like. I like Battle for the Grid, I like games that are typically a bit faster than most NRS games tend to be nowadays. I like games with at least some OTG typically.
Okay.
Doesn't have to, right? Street Fighter V has very little, but yeah.
Oh my God, 3 days, Tom. 3
Yeah.
days, Tom.
I want to talk about a game I've been playing called Creature in the Well.
Okay.
You heard of this?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
So Creature in the Well is like a very light dungeon crawler.
Good name.
A lot of people are saying it has pinball
Uh-oh.
gameplay mechanics, right? And I see where they're getting that from.
Are there flippers?
There's no flippers, but your character, like you're hitting a ball, sometimes with a baseball bat, sometimes a lead pipe, sometimes a sword, but you're hitting a ball. Where I think it really differs from pinball is you catch the ball and you can aim it and then shoot it back out. Cool. You know, whereas something like
you're like that feller in the Raid 2.
Kind of, yeah. Or whereas like something like Rollers of the Realm or Yoku's Island Express, like you're not catching that ball, you were hitting it with flippers. Yeah. You know, that's much more like pinball than Creature in the Well. Yeah. But I get the comparison.
Sure.
There are a lot of puzzles that are solved by hitting like pinball, like bumpers and things of that nature. Anyways, a lot of fun so far. Very cool visuals. Like I haven't seen a game that looks quite like it. It really reminds me of like old Alex Anderson or Tim Sale. You know these people?
No.
Okay, so Tim Sale did still does a lot of comics.
Okay.
He did The Long Halloween.
That's your favorite.
Right. So like, you know how the backgrounds of The Long Halloween are like just kind of weirdly colored and weirdly outlined?
Yeah.
Alex Anderson did like Rocky and Bullwinkle back in the late 50s, early 60s. Mm-hmm. You know how like the backgrounds of those are just kind of really, I don't want to say low detail, but like kind of low detail and colored in just this weird way. Like it's like that. Yeah. It's very neat. I've never seen a game that looks quite like that. A lot of fun so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Switch?
It's on Switch, but I think it's on just about everything, I believe. On Switch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thomas, you know what I almost started playing the other day, but I decided not to because I don't think I want to invest the time into it right now. I almost went to sign up for some Escape from Tarkov. Because I knew that you were excited about it, and then it's. I've been watching people stream that game.
Yeah, does it look good? Because it looked good a year ago. But I don't know. I haven't seen it in so long.
You ever look at a game being streamed, you can't tell if the game looks good or if the person's just really good at it, and that makes the game look good.
Sure.
I'm kind of battling with that right now. I mean, it's a very pretty and very detailed game.
Yeah.
I just wonder how much I would get out of a game like that because I'm not really a shooter guy.
And it seems extremely hard. It does seem very hard.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've been looking at it, you know, but it's just I feel guilty now whenever I'm not in the lab getting my strings down these days.
Sure.
So
I do think a game like that is the type of game that does demand your time, you know.
Yeah, and I don't really. Yeah, okay, so I was you know how there are two kinds of games that I like, Thomas. Well, I like more than two kinds of games, but I like fighting games and I like space games, right?
Okay.
I like space games a whole damn lot.
Doesn't matter the genre as long as there's space.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Because we've talked about this before. When you say you like space games, you list off the games you like, and they're like all different genres of space games.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Okay. So, but like, okay. So as you know,
okay,
I am reading The Expanse. Okay.
All right.
And I'm realizing that like, you know, what I really want in a game is I want to have, I want like, you know how like, okay, so I want the big galaxy of Elite Dangerous, right?
Okay.
I want all that.
Okay.
And I want the ship stuff from Elite Dangerous with more customization.
Okay.
But I also want the ability to walk around inside of those ships, inside of these ships. And I want the ability to walk around inside space stations.
Okay.
It's like that. And there are some, there are some games that give me one of those things. Like Elite Dangerous gives me one of those things.
Yeah.
Mass Effect gives me one of those things.
Right.
But there are very few games, if I don't know of any game, that gives me both of those things.
Well, let me tell you about a little indie darling called, well, shit, now the name escapes me. Oh, Star Citizen.
Oh, so, yeah. So here's the thing about
I actually don't know how that game plays at all.
So
it might not have any of that.
That game, amazingly.
Yeah.
350
still not out.
7 years and $350 million later is still an alpha.
That's more than Sony paid to buy Insomniac.
Oh my God. And I've watched people stream that game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this game looks like it does very much look like it will give me what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And as far as checking off those boxes,
Sure.
how well will that play? I don't know. But I guess I just can't wrap my head around the idea.
A game that costs more than a studio.
I can't wrap my head around the idea of paying $45 for an alpha. I guess I just can't do it.
And on top of that, I mean, just having some of the most expensive microtransactions we've ever seen.
Like, fucking why?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And the depressing part about it is I've been searching for like a year and change for the game that I'm describing to you.
Yeah.
And the more I search, the more certain I am that that's probably my only option, and it sucks because
Give it time.
I just
Next gen, baby.
I don't know.
Gonna get all those sweet ray tracings and
Yeah. I want, you know what? Maybe
teraflops.
yeah, I want it. Maybe we'll have enough flops to give me the game that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not there.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. But I'm content right now. I got my Tekken. I got my Mortal Kombat. I'm about to have my Street Fighter. Feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah.
So,
That's good. I'll probably jump back on Street Fighter when you're playing it.
yeah.
Calling you out, Sandy. I'm calling you out.
Oh, that dude.
Yeah.
I think we'll be all right. I don't know if you know this, but Mortal Kombat is beta testing cross-platform between PlayStation and Xbox,
That's cool.
and I thought that was really neat.
That is neat.
I thought it was really neat.
Yeah.
So
No PC there?
no, strangely enough.
Is it on PC? It's on PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Like I know X and Injustice 2 took a while to come to PC.
yeah, and from what I understand, the X PC version is not good. Or was that 9?
I don't know.
The 9 PC. No, the 9 PC version was not good because every time you tried to quit, it would lock the computer up.
Oh, yeah. I had to quit from Task Manager, but like it was fine later.
Yeah.
Which is weird because both times I played it was like well after its release.
The way I understand it, any game that WB puts on computers is not great at first.
Mm,
So
sure. Well, speaking of fighting games, I do want to talk about EVO.
hell yeah, EVO is the biggest tournament of all time.
Just because we've had a lot of, well, I shouldn't say we have a lot of news. We've got the announcement of the main games,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And from that, I think there's a lot to talk about.
yeah.
So is there anywhere you want to start?
I think we should address the elephant in the room.
Which is, what's the elephant in the room? No Melee again.
This is absurd. No, so I guess
No more on combat.
no. Don't call it that.
I'm just poking at you.
Don't call it that. But
Aye.
it's not there.
Yeah. Very surprising.
And isn't this like the first time NRS hasn't had a presence at EVO since 2011?
I don't know that that's the case.
Because I'm pretty sure that's the case.
I don't believe that's the case, but I could be wrong.
Sure, that's the case.
I could be wrong. I think the biggest surprise to me
Yeah.
is with how well Mortal Kombat 11 sold, the audience that game has,
Huge.
that it would be very beneficial to have that game there.
I mean, why not?
I don't think that the game belongs there,
What do
but
you
I
say?
do.
What are you saying, Tommy? What do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't belong there?
I think that there are so many good fighting games
Sure.
that are more interesting to watch, and this is all my opinion,
Sure.
that deserve to be there.
Okay.
Things like Cross Tag Battle and Under Night In-Birth being their last year felt really good to me. It felt really good to me to see games like that main stage there.
Yeah, you know what? It was.
And I think that Mortal Kombat sells better, has a bigger budget, has a bigger audience, but that doesn't make it a better game than those.
Sure. It was actually, I felt like when I saw the list, not I thought it was cool that Under Night was there last year, and I thought it was even cooler that like there's so much interest behind it that it's there again, second year in a row.
Yeah, it's the new version, but yes.
But
yes.
that's cool, right? Because like that's a game that like, you know, not a lot of people talk about. Well,
The fact that Under Night is there twice and Mortal Kombat is not
it says a lot.
is amazing to me.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's particularly good for EVO,
Sure.
but I think it's a good gesture to the fighting game community
Yeah.
as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think that really sucks because, you know, it said more on combat, right? And that term gets thrown around a lot. A lot of the FGC talks a lot of shit about Mortal Kombat.
It's a very cerebral game that you guys just don't understand. It's fine. It's fine.
But I don't think Mortal Kombat's a bad game. I think, you know, if they could have more main stage games, that's one of the first ones I'd throw up there. That said, it's not like Mortal Kombat's not going to be at EVO. There will still be a Mortal Kombat tournament at EVO. It just won't be a main stage tournament.
But like you look at the other games in that lineup, right? And like as much as I love Mortal Kombat,
Let's see if I can pull it up.
you look.
Give myself a refresher here.
Yeah. As much as I love Mortal Kombat, it seems out of place amongst those other games. I feel like, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like that game seems kind of out of place with those other games.
I mean, it's just
Okay, so
look, we've got Under Night, we've got Smash Brothers Ultimate to clarify, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Tekken 7, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Street Fighter 5, Soul Calibur, Grand Blue, and Samurai Showdown. So I don't know. This lineup to me is really good.
yeah,
really
it's
good.
fantastic.
And
isn't that from what am I correct in that MVC2 is by invitation only?
So there are 4 invites.
Yeah.
And 2 to be determined. People are thinking there's going to be qualifiers for those 2 spots, but we don't know for sure yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah, I think MVC is probably the most shocking thing. And I think it's a really interesting thing. You know, right now they're playing on, it's the 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
And that's cool. But I think there's more to it than that. I think that we're going to get some sort of news
About
around that series.
when did Infinite come out? 16?
Something like that.
I don't know. I'm expecting some news about either that or I feel like it's a pretty safe bet to get some news about MVC.
Capcom has been doing a really good job this generation across the board, other than with fighting games.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a really good move on their part to just port the game.
Yeah, like why not?
Do a good port of the game. Do like an Iron Galaxy port of the game. And I think that will restore a lot of faith.
I feel pretty certain that I could be wrong, and I'm probably wrong. But I feel pretty certain that the MVC2 that was on 360 didn't have online.
It did. That's what I'm talking about, that port.
Okay.
If they just, I mean, no, you're wrong. If they did like more work than that, awesome.
Sure.
But if they just ported that version,
Yeah.
I think that would restore a lot of faith in the fighting game community, in the Capcom fighting game community.
You know what will restore my faith in the Capcom fighting game community?
What's that?
Darkstalkers 4.
Sure. And they need to do a new game at some point.
Yeah.
Ono's already talked about 5, like this year won't have a lot of news.
Yeah.
Part of that's because of the Olympics, but I think another part of that is because 5 is
Winding down.
Yeah. So they've got to be working on something.
Yeah.
And I think if they,
Man, how badass would that be?
I think if they put out a nice port of 2, that will buy them a year.
It just, you know what pisses me off, Tom, is the fact that they keep acknowledging the existence of Darkstalkers without giving me a Darkstalkers.
And Ono says on more than one occasion that Darkstalkers is not dead. We've yet to see that.
It's called life support, right? And what's crazy is that they acknowledge the fact that it's been a long time since the Darkstalkers game has come out, and they just won't fucking give it to me. What's it been?
Yeah.
20 years?
Yeah. Well, the last thing we saw that wasn't a guest appearance was Resurrection.
Yeah.
Which was phenomenal. Again, done by Iron Galaxy.
Right. Thank you, Dave Lang.
But yeah, they just need to do something with that. I think that would be a big deal. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that Marvel 2 is there.
Yeah.
And that Capcom licensed the Marvel characters to release the Arcade 1-Up cabinet.
Yeah.
I don't think these things are a coincidence. I think that we will have some Marvel-related news from Capcom this year.
Yeah. So do you have any excitement around any of these games specifically? Like, I know that you're excited about Under Night.
Yeah.
Now, are there, like, you're just looking for some competition? Or are you looking for some returning players to
Not really. Like, I don't know a lot about the Under Night competitive scene.
Right.
I like Red Blade a lot. See Red Blade come back would be cool.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he will. Tekken was phenomenal to watch last year.
Arslan Ash taking EVO 2020.
Yeah,
I'm calling it.
That'll be cool to watch. No, I don't think he's got a second one in him, but we'll see.
I bet he's got it. He's gonna do it.
There are arguably better Tekken players. He is a great Tekken player. Don't get me wrong. And his story is phenomenal.
He's got the heart.
I think it was crazy that he wasn't even nominated for Esports Player at the Game Awards.
That shit's not even know.
But yeah. So those two games for sure, and then obviously Marvel and Grand Blue. I'm very excited to watch Grand Blue.
Yeah.
A lot of guys that I follow now have moved on and are playing that game. Justin Wong included, JM Croft, like a lot of really good guys are playing Grand Blue, and I'm very excited to watch that competitively.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only people I've seen play that I think the only pro I've seen play that is Daigo. So it'd be cool to.
Did I tell you about how fun it is watching him mess around with the new Street Fighter V stuff?
Yeah.
Now that he's playing Guile, and
I mean, he's been playing Guile for a while now, but it's interesting to see him over the past few years, like move from a Shotokan character to a charge-based character.
Yeah. It's funny because there are some games there that I'm so excited to watch that I've never touched.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really excited to watch Dragon Ball FighterZ. I've never played a single round of that game. I don't know why.
I'm just not.
I don't know why, Tom. I don't know why. I have no, like, I honestly, when that game first got announced.
Yeah.
Not when it first got announced, but when I first saw it in action, I was like, man, that's a day one purchase for me, and I just never bought it. And then
they've put it behind this insane paywall that make it hard to play even if you want to.
What do you mean?
I mean that if you want that game now with all the available characters, you're going to pay over $100.
What?
Yeah. If you want just the base launch version of the game, then you can buy it pretty cheap. But if you want all the characters,
I want all the Gokus,
you're going to spend over $100.
How many Gokus do I get for $30?
I don't know. But like, while it is an interesting game and it did kind of fill the Marvel void, I think it's been there too long. And I would rather see something new take its place.
Pull that list back up.
Or something old take its place, for that matter. What I will say about Dragon Ball FighterZ that I do like is that competitively, it pulls from a lot of different games.
Yeah.
So you get people like Sonic Fox in there.
Yeah.
Against people like Leffen.
Yeah.
Which is really weird, but super cool,
I'm excited to watch some Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
Very excited. I have some players that I'm hoping to see there that I'm really looking forward to. And I'm gonna be in that mood. Like, it's just, there's something about, like, because by that time I'll have been playing a lot of Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
It's just something to, like, when you actively play a game and then you're also watching people play it at like a high professional level. There's something about that.
I think this will be the last year we see Street Fighter V on the main stage.
Yeah, I think so too.
And hopefully that means Capcom has something ready to go for next year.
Either they look, Tom. Either they give me Street Fighter 6.
It's not happening yet.
Darkstalkers 4. Or honestly, that's what I want. Give me Darkstalkers 4.
I mean, I agree. I would love Darkstalkers. Would love it. I think Samurai Showdown is always fun to watch.
Yeah, it's Samurai Showdown is fun to watch because it's just so, like, especially when you compare like the other games on that list, it's
the most honest fighting game.
Yeah,
you know.
And I'm like, the interesting thing about Samurai Showdown is that like it's so based in fundamentals that like high level play doesn't look like high level play unless you know like what people are doing.
Right.
And so I'm really interested to watch that. And like I'm hoping to see Wong bring out his Tam Tam.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to bring up, right? Like people talk about playing lame, and it's not the most exciting thing to watch.
That's the game to play lame with.
But like, yeah, I love Justin, and he plays lame, you know, and he excels at that game because of it.
For the viewers at home, tell them what playing lame means.
It's just being very defensive and being very slow and deliberate with when you attack.
But that's how you win.
Yeah,
with Samurai Showdown, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that because that's a game that I want to. That's a game that I've wanted to succeed since day one. I don't think it quite. I think that like when it first came out, like there was a lot of interest, and I think that kind of baselined to like a very core audience.
I think the interest is still there. I think it's hard to gauge because it came out so close to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That like nothing was going to compete with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You know. I don't think that means it's not a success though.
Sure.
You know.
But like also SNK fighting games are such a I feel like they have a very specific kind of fan base.
Yeah. In this country for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
You got to go down to Mexico if you want to
yeah.
SNK games.
But yeah, Grand Blue I think is very exciting. I would really like to pick that game up.
Yeah.
Nice to see like a very solid fundamental Street Fighter type of game being played.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have never seen a single frame of Grand Blue. So
yeah.
I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
I played the alpha, beta, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed it.
Yeah. How many characters in that bitch?
I don't know. Yeah.
What else we got? We got Soul Calibur 6.
Yep. Tanukana GG. I'm very excited to watch her play. She's fucking awesome.
Who's her main?
She was playing, what's the girl, Chinese girl with the weird little sword that everyone played into?
Chinese girl with the weird little sword.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm not super great with Soul Calibur character names. Sure. But yeah, excited to see her play. And Soul Calibur is such an interesting game because while Tekken, spatial awareness does matter, it doesn't matter as much as it does in Soul Calibur.
Tekken doesn't have any ring outs, man.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Tekken doesn't have any ring outs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that's another thing. That's another game that's really exciting to watch too, especially like at a high level.
Oh yeah.
Because like it moves so quickly and like a weapon-based fighter in a 3D space is just it's really fantastic to watch, and I'm hoping that I'm hoping that means more attention getting put towards Soul Calibur. I think Soul Calibur is a really fantastic franchise.
Yeah.
But I think that in some ways it gets overshadowed a little bit. So I'm really looking forward to watching that. I'm like, and again, I'm looking forward to watching Tekken because that game is like, man, that game is 4 years old now. Oh, now it's a little older than that, right?
Shit, I don't know. I picked it up late.
Yeah. So.
I guess I didn't pick it up that late because only one of the DLC characters had come out by the time I started playing it.
Yeah.
But
I think you got it like in season 2.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, I'm really like I like both of those games a lot. And again, Soul Calibur is a game that I really, really want to like online, but like my luck has been really bad.
Yeah.
Like just laggy matches, long queues. I don't know what you're doing that I'm not, but yeah, like I would love to play that game online more, but it's just
I wonder if it has
to.
like you have such bad luck with fighting games online that I do wonder if it's your connection on some part.
Well, that's the only that. See, that's the thing, Tom.
Because just a lot of the games that you've told me you've not been able to find matches in, I have no problem finding a match in those games. You know,
I gotta open up my NAT.
Yeah.
Gotta open up that NAT real good.
I am excited to watch Smash Brothers. I do like to watch Smash Brothers from time to time.
Yeah.
Not as much as a lot of the other games.
Very small doses for me.
But like, well, you know, when you watch some of these guys, like, you know, they call them the gods, right? So like Leffen and Hungry Box and guys like that. Yeah. Watching what those guys are able to do is pretty insane. You know, watching when like a quarter of the fight is happening off the stage. Yeah. You know, it's really neat. It's really neat.
That's neat.
Yeah.
What else we got? What else? Who else is shit? What else is there?
Well, I mean, there's always the side games, which I do like to watch. I do feel like Combo Breaker is better for the side tournaments, which might be why I like that tournament more. Combo Breaker or CES. Not CES. CEO. I want to say his Combo Breaker has the biggest Vampire Savior tournament.
Cool.
And that's very fun to watch. But, you know, I will check in on some of these side games. All these NRS guys that are crying should watch the MK tournament because I'm sure it'll be a big turnout.
Yeah.
Like, I don't quite understand why people are so sad about that because, like, there's still going to be a tournament there. All your pros are probably, the majority of them are still going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, are you sad because they're not going to be on ESPN? Are you sad because they're not going to make as much money?
This
you know?
What I think it is. This is what I think it is.
I shouldn't even say sad, angry, because I see more people angry about it than anything.
Yeah, but like that's people get angry about video games all the time.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very weird thing about how angry people get.
Yeah.
But I think it's just in some ways they feel personally slighted. Like if the game if you're not respecting the game enough to put it up there, then you're not respecting me.
Yeah.
And like it sounds funny, but like I think like and I don't presume to speak for anybody, but I legitimately think that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it also has to do with like people saying things like I think that they feel that the critics of Mortal Kombat are going to feel vindicated by the fact that Mortal Kombat's not one of the main games. And like, oh shit! Now I got to hear it from the guys who are saying more on combat that proved them right.
But here's the thing, right? Like, people talk shit about Mortal Kombat, sure.
Yeah.
About all NRS games, right?
They're fun.
But like, if the Smash Brothers community can deal with the level of hate that they've had, surely NRS fans can deal with the fraction of that they've gotten, you know?
NRS fans and Smash fans are two very different kinds of angry.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that it's weird because like if you crave that competition so bad,
yeah,
it's there.
Right.
It's happening all of the time.
Including at EVO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening all of the time.
Yeah.
I
think people see the main lineup for EVO, people that don't actually watch EVO but like to bitch about it.
Yeah.
And they just think that these are the only games that are there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but like I think that
maybe I'm wrong, but like, yeah.
I mean,
like when a Polygon or a Kotaku or an IGN reports that, hey, here's the EVO lineup for 2020 and Mortal Kombat's gone.
That's how you get them clicks.
They don't say, oh, yeah, there's the side tournament. It's going to be there, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that people that don't know just assume, oh, well, they just took this thing out and it's gone forever, you know? Like,
well, and again, I think that there is an excitement towards seeing your favorite fighting game show up amongst those 9 games up there.
Yeah.
I think it's the same kind of. I think it's a different kind of excitement than what you feel seeing Unist or Grand Blue up there, and that these are games that you probably ordinarily wouldn't have expected to see up there, but you've seen there 2 times.
Yeah, feels good
in a row, right? And then it's like. And then so those same people who are upset about Mortal Kombat not being there are looking at it's like what the fuck is Under Night and what the fuck is Grand Blue? how are these games better than Mortal Kombat? And it's just like,
You know what I've seen more of?
what's that?
Why are they bringing this 20-year-old game back?
So
I've seen that much more.
So here's the thing: is that some of the best fighting games ever are 20 years old. Okay, Third Strike is my favorite Street Fighter of all time.
Do you think though? Like, I'm very happy that Marvel's there, and I would like to see them do more of this. Bring back Super Turbo whenever that anniversary comes up. Yeah. Like, I'm down for that. But like, would you rather see something new?
I want to see something exciting.
Yeah.
And like that's not always what's new.
Right.
And I think Marvel is always exciting to watch.
Always.
And it does it like I will always watch Marvel versus Capcom 2.
Yeah.
Anytime, because that's a great game.
Yeah.
And the people who are great at it make it fun to watch. And I'm like, I love Mortal Kombat. I really, really do. But it's not as fun to watch as Marvel versus Capcom. I'm sorry. And that doesn't necessarily, that's not taking away from Mortal Kombat. It's just, these are different kinds of fighting games. And again, I honestly think that as cool as it was to, as cool as it is to see Mortal Kombat amongst those 9, it's just, I think that when you look at those other games up there, I do think it feels kind of out of place. It's just kind of a game that like kind of stands out on its own.
But wouldn't you agree that it feels less out of place than Smash Brothers?
Yeah, I would. But like at the same time, like, then you get into the whole like conversation about how much of a fighting game is Smash.
Sure.
And that's like, that's like we talked like in the previous episode, like what is a fighting game? And that's such a broad term. So like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, but you also have to remember, like, EVO's the tournament that had Mario Kart. It's the tournament that had Halo. Like
people, it's about competition.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that tournaments like this are for people who love to watch competition.
Yeah.
And you'll take that in like various different forms. Like, and I think that like if you're
arm wrestling,
absolutely
bring out Stallone.
I will fuck him up.
I want to see Sly up there.
Yeah.
Top 8.
Yeah, so I'm going to EVO and
yeah.
Top 8. But like, no, what I'm saying is that like,
can you imagine Sylvester Stallone getting sent to losers brackets? How funny that would fucking be.
He would do the thing.
I turned the hand around.
He'd slam the table. Imagine if Over the Top was about video games instead of arm wrestling.
Sure.
The cast was the same. It's just
video
games instead of arm wrestling.
He turns his hat backwards and picks up his fucking controller.
But like,
his kid's there.
I just think that like I think that you like EVO. I think that you like Combo Breaker. I think you like CEO because you like watching people compete. And that the essence of that competition isn't different just because the game is different. And
it is though, because like I do like watching people compete, but there are other one-on-one games that I do not want to see people compete in.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like just because like if you wanted Mortal Kombat to be there, or if you wanted Mortal Kombat to be one of those 9, okay, then fine. But at the same time, like, you mean to tell me that out of those 9 games, even as a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan, you wouldn't enjoy watching people like match wits in one of these other games?
Yeah.
Like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
I think even if you don't, like I said, you can still watch Mortal Kombat at EVO.
Or you could watch Mortal Kombat in a million different other places if you want to see a Mortal Kombat tournament.
Right.
And that's the thing that I think people don't get is that, yes, EVO is the biggest tournament. Like, no doubt. Yeah. I get that, right? But like, are you mad because you don't get to see a Mortal Kombat, or are you mad because you don't get to see Mortal Kombat at EVO? And if you're upset that you're not getting to get to see Mortal Kombat at EVO, then like, what is really the problem?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you can watch. Like, I can open my phone right now and find any number of Mortal Kombat tournaments if I want to watch a Mortal Kombat tournament that bad.
So, of the 9 games announced.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think's taking home the most trophies? Because I have to go Justin Wong.
Yeah, well, because Justin Wong, he's gonna take it, and he's gonna take it in.
Because he's gonna take Marvel.
He's gonna take Marvel.
He might take Sam Show.
I think he's got a good shot at Sam Show, but I'm not.
And he's gonna take a bunch of side tournaments as well.
Yeah, I think Justin Wong is probably gonna take home the most trophies.
Yeah. And he's been playing Grand Blue. I don't know how well he's been doing, but I know he's been playing it. Yeah.
I think that the whole
with no Mortal Kombat, Sonic Fox might play Smash.
I think Sonic Fox is probably gonna go for Dragon Ball.
Like he'll still play Mortal Kombat, I assume.
I think that you're gonna see Sonic Fox in Dragon Ball, Soul Calibur.
He plays Soul Calibur?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
I haven't checked on that in a couple of years, so don't quote me on that. But
okay.
I know that he had been competing in Soul Calibur at one point. But I would be very surprised if I didn't see him compete in Dragon Ball.
You and I talked about this the other day when we were driving around. What excites me the most is the potential of Justin winning Marvel in 2020.
How fucking cool would that be?
Just because of the legacy.
Yeah.
Be fucking awesome.
That would be so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then he is like, I'm retiring forever. And then he throws down a smoke bomb and we never see him again.
It would be an awesome way to retire.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What excites me the most about these tournaments is like you have these people who have been just dominating for years and years and years, but then you also have these people who are coming up.
I don't care about them. I just like the old guys.
Yeah. Well, I know you like the old guys, Tom. You're wearing a Sub Pop hat, so I know that you like the old guys.
Sure.
But, I like watching people who are out to prove themselves and surpass like these legendary figures. And
yeah,
it's like that's what's cool to me about all of this shit is like there are so many like underdog stories that can be had in there, and it's just like that's what's exciting. And you can get those in any of those 9 games.
Yeah. Except, well, it'd be really hard to get that in Marvel, considering the way that
sure.
it's going to work out.
No, who like
it's possible.
Sure. No,
but like, goddamn.
No,
good luck.
Any underdog who shows up is going to get fucking crushed.
No, it's possible. It's possible.
Okay, look.
But when you've got 4 guys that are awesome at the game,
there might be some like unknown prodigy that shows up and like beats the ball.
It's happened. There's been no names that have won tournaments, right? So it's happened.
It's not going to happen this year. I'm willing to bet money on it.
No one knew who Arslan Ash was last year.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Until
he put on the mask.
Yeah. And until he put on the mask.
Man, we make a lot of Batman jokes. But yeah, and at first, like I was like, and that's where I'm coming from on it, because like, yeah, at first I was bummed about Mortal Kombat not being there, but then I was just like, so what?
But I think unlike most other NRS guys, you like Tekken a lot now.
Yeah.
You still like Street Fighter a lot. Like you've got other things that you are excited to watch.
Yeah.
I think a lot of NRS guys only are excited to watch Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and I think that it's the weird thing about that is I was having a conversation about Nintendo versus Sega with somebody a few days ago, and
blast processing.
Yeah, sure. And how like it very much was just like, well, if I liked Nintendo, then I'm not allowed to like Sega.
Right.
Fuck that. And it seems like that's the weird thing that has overtaken like these like the NRS crowd is like, I like Mortal Kombat. And that's it.
I don't think that's necessarily it, though. I think it's with fighting games, you have the time to put in to only really get good at a couple.
Yeah.
And like most people only get good at one. And if Mortal Kombat is their one, I could understand not wanting to watch something where you don't really know or understand the mechanics.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think that there's.
It's like watching Dota, right? Like I don't know what's happening. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I on a very
it's really
surface level I understand, but like
I understand the objective, but like the getting there.
Right. And like it could be the same for like most of the people watching Under Night probably don't understand how Vorpal works,
Yeah.
Like
yeah. But like I think that like even with that though, maybe I'm in the minority on this, but I find it very, very possible, and even I would even say easy to watch a fighting game where I don't actually understand how the game works.
Compared to a lot of other games, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And I could still have a really good time watching it.
I think that's why EVO is as big as it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
I just think that I feel bad saying this, being someone who is on a video game podcast, but I find there are times where I find other gamers to be exhausting.
Definitely.
And because I think that many times I think that their frustration is misplaced.
Yeah. I want to know how they decided this, and we'll never know.
Yeah.
But
I think that's what bothers people. I think it's the not knowing.
well, for me, it's I'm just interested to know why they would do this to themselves, because I think that Mortal Kombat main stage would make them a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, I really do.
Yeah.
More so than the majority of the games that are there.
Well, I think that the only reason not to do it is because you somehow found another opportunity to showcase the game that makes you more money than that. But I can't think of one.
And I'd like to think that that's not it. I'd like to think that they are doing a Mike Ross and trying to go after the main FGC and say, here's something for you guys.
Yeah.
EVO's so big now, it's hard to believe that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, because at the end of the day, it's still a business.
I'd believe that with Combo Breaker. I'd believe that with, you know, the fucking Summit or CEO. But like with EVO, it's hard to believe that.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of Mike Ross,
yeah, he made this announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling about like the chances of seeing him like be? Because I know you said he seemed like he was very much like dealing with like a lot of shit.
Yeah. You know what's funny is like in that interview, people were like, "So come back to the FGC," and his response was like, "I never left." You know, his response is like, "I've been playing fighting games."
Yeah.
Might not be on main stage. I might not be doing like YouTube content, but it's like I'm still playing fighting games. Is that not the FGC?
Yeah.
You know,
well,
and I think that's a good response. But like at the same time, obviously that's not what his fans want.
Yeah.
But like, as somebody who is as big in the scene as he is, you have to do what's good for you. And if that's not being in the spotlight,
then don't be.
That's
in the spotlight.
okay. You know,
like this dude is still like last time I saw Mike Ross compete in anything, he was doing he was on bar fights doing Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, and he's been doing a lot of Guilty Gear.
And I think that his emphasis is, it seems very much like it's on the community part of fighting game community.
Yeah.
And like what he believes to be like the most healthy way to engage with that.
It's hard to say. You know, with Excellent Adventures, I think that's what people miss.
Yeah.
More than anything, I think people miss him on Cross Counter, and I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
And that is sad, but like, you know, you got to do what's good for you. And he even says like he really felt like he was doing something good for the community, only to be told that he wasn't. To which I assume he's referring to the work that he did for Capcom.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, really, you know. But, you know, I love the guy. I love all of his work, and I still go back and watch his old videos. Seeing him compete, even if he's just on stream at a side tournament game, it'll be nice to watch.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's planning on picking up Strive, but I really hope he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of what I like about watching these competitions is the personalities. And I have like different.
But it's because of Cross Counter that we know those personalities.
Yeah.
You know, you might see someone pop off or whatever, but like
I love the pop off.
Actually seeing these guys talk for an hour or more with their friends is something we didn't see before Cross Counter.
Yeah.
Now you see more of it because other YouTube channels try to mimic that content. But at the time, that was it.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Also, so I got a little frustrated maybe about 6 months ago, maybe less than that, because so there are different Mortal Kombat players that I follow.
Yeah, sure.
On the YouTubes, and one of them is Sonic Fox, and I stopped watching Sonic Fox videos at a certain point because it got to the point where I felt like every time, and this is apropos of nothing, it just popped into my head.
Yeah.
I got to the point where every time he posted a new character video, he was saying every single, like, this character is S tier, this character is S tier. And I was like, well, if everyone is great, then no one is, Sonic. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on the frequency of that and the frequency of balance changes, you know?
Yeah.
Because you see a lot of guys that do that, right? Justin, for a while on Instagram, was posting tier lists for all sorts of different games, and sometimes the same game, but a changed tier list,
Right. And a weird twist, again, apropos of nothing, but in a weird twist, Johnny Cage is considered the best fighter, the best character in the game right now, which I never expected.
Yeah, but I mean, by who though?
Yeah.
I
But I don't give a fuck, Tom, because you know what? It's about the fun for me.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about balance.
I mean, tier lists are just, they're not for me.
No.
I don't buy too much into them. When
March to the rhythm of your own drum, Tom.
In Smash Brothers for Wii U, when Bayonetta is considered overpower and Ganondorf is considered low tier, and you can find plenty of Ganondorfs beating the shit out of a Bayonetta.
Then the argument becomes we're like,
yeah,
like what's a tier list when I'm a better player than you?
Yeah.
But I think that the one thing that I want, and I think that one of the things that I like about being into fighting games this much is that I find largely the community to be more welcoming than in other kinds of games.
I think the community as a whole is very welcoming,
but
I think individual FGC communities, San Antonio is included, can be quite toxic.
Included or especially?
I can't say especially because I haven't looked outside of this city's FGC too much.
Yeah.
But goddamn, our FGC has some garbage people in it.
People are saying hard F's in that bitch.
Yeah.
Which, that's my thing too, man. It's just I don't care for elitists, I really don't. And I think that's because I honestly think, I think that video games are for everybody. I think that fighting games are for everybody, anybody who wants to play them. And, so for example, one of the people that I play Mortal Kombat with on a pretty regular basis, I have won maybe 4 out of 100 matches with this person.
Sure.
But he and I play together because we're having a good time.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. And
that's like when me and Sandy play Street Fighter,
yeah, I mean
he wins 0 times.
Right? But it's about having fun with your
He's
pals.
obviously having fun.
Yeah, it's good for him, right? It's like the time.
Dang it.
Sometimes the time I played King of Fighters against Sandy.
Sure.
He didn't win a single time, but you could tell he was having a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was having a good time just hanging out with him.
We love you, Sandy.
Yeah. Just get better. But
he could say the same thing about me playing Killer Instinct with him.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But that game is fucking old and no one gives a shit, Sandy.
People still care. People are playing tournament fighters, man. People care.
Nah. Whack.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's whatever you want to play, right? But again, that's what it's about, right? That's play the games that you want to play, watch the games that you want to fucking watch. If you want to watch Mortal Kombat and it's not at EVO, then hop your ass on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or whatever the fuck, and you're gonna find a goddamn tournament and people are gonna be playing it.
Yeah.
Don't even fucking worry about it. Don't worry about being vindicated. Don't worry about having your taste vindicated. Just watch the games that you want to watch and play them when you want to play them.
You're not wrong about that.
That said, if you want to get this work, I'll put my PSN name in the description of this video.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Throw mine in there too.
Sure.
I got a fighting game related small thing since we're on that this week.
Let's do it.
Legacy controls for Skullgirls, allowing you to use your last generation fighting sticks to play the game. And on top of that,
here it comes,
allowing any developer
Yep.
to use those drivers to make that a possibility in their game, in which most large developers still have not done.
Why the fuck not?
Because they want to make that money.
Yeah.
Sell you another fight stick.
You want how many fight sticks do you want?
Now Capcom does it. They'll still let you do it.
Yeah.
But it's because of Skullgirls that it's possible. I think that's awesome because fight sticks are fucking expensive, and generation to generation, they don't change that much. Change a little bit. Yeah, it's convenient to have a touchpad this generation.
Hey Tom, what do you think is more expensive, 5 sticks or fixing your net code?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
Got him.
Very good question.
Got him.
But yeah, just a little shout out to the Skullgirls team for doing that.
And tell them about the 360 thing.
Oh, we talked about that before. A predictive SPD. So basically, SPD in most games requires you to do a 360-degree motion on your stick or D-pad or whatever you're using.
Yep.
And oftentimes this causes you to jump when you are not meaning to jump.
SPD, of course, means spinning pile driver.
Right. So the predictive SPD in Skullgirls basically says, hey, we know that you're trying to do this move, so we're going to prevent you from jumping.
Tom,
yeah.
If Street Fighter had that, you have any idea how much Zangief I would be playing?
Yeah.
I would be playing so much Zangief right now.
Well, maybe the next one. Maybe the next one.
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna have that in Street Fighter 6, and there will be no Zangief.
That would be very funny.
That would piss me.
Very funny.
That would piss me off so bad. Hey, real quick, does Alex have an SPD?
I don't know. I'd never play Alex. I'm not good with Alex.
Oh, that's fine. This was fun.
Yeah.
This was a really good time.
Play fighting games. Watch EVO. And have fun.
I'll see you online.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.